Survivor now podcast.
I was busy on the beach, like I was on Survivor.
I don't believe anything you say on Survivor. I almost called it.
It's now time.
I'm so excited.
Oh no!
I do love you, but bye.
Oh, it's so wrong.
I gotta go. I got something new. Not as exciting as this. I'll tell you that right now, but.
What's up, everyone? I hope you enjoyed that episode. There's a lot to talk about, and we can't wait to discuss it with all of you. I'm super excited to be here. I'm not usually here at the after show, so this is a little late for me. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm feeling energized and feeling ready to discuss. And I'm here with our usual suspects. We got Josh. How's it going, Josh?
Pretty good. You know, we all have our feelings on three tribes, but I think that this was a needed shakeup, and I definitely prefer this over some of the other shenanigans that they've been doing lately. So good episode. I feel like the season's moving in a good direction.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to elaborate more because I agree with you overall, Josh. It's going to be a good little chat for tonight's episode. And then we've of course got we got Abe, and he's with like another friend. So like we got Abe, and I want to introduce like who you brought with you.
I brought my friend Jason because there was some backstabbing tonight, and I just want to make sure it's represented properly. So he got the little knife and everything else. So he's gonna be with me tonight talking about this episode because it was some backstabbing.
And absolutely was. I think this is very fitting. And obviously Halloween's, coming up on Friday. It's the best holiday in my opinion. So yeah, it all works out. Backstabbing, Halloween, love it. And then finally we got our boy Bruce. Bruce, what's up? How are you?
All right, first off, I'm doing okay physically. Mentally, I'm in two different spaces. One, Shannon, you shouldn't have gone. We'll get to all this later on. And two, Abraham, I already told you that is not Jason. That is Michael Myers. That is not a hockey mask he has on his face. I just finished the whole thing. I watched every single Halloween, and I know exactly who is on your lap right now.
This is my lap. This is my lap, man. My guy. You can name anybody who you want to. This is my guy.
Oh.
He got the knife. That's all you need right there is a knife. So
we gotta chat later.
We're gonna talk about that. Put these hands on you, guy. Put these hands on you.
I mean, excuse me. Wow. I was just gonna say, I would try to help you all out to determine the correct name, but I'm not very, Halloween movie savvy, so I can't really help. But
yeah, this is like Myers.
It works for the episode.
If you had someone in the background, they might have to pull up a picture of Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees a little side by side to show the world and who's
either way, it's creepy.
I mean, he going back in his place. Hey, there he gets.
Well, everyone, we, as I said, just saw a very good episode, in my opinion. I personally was not expecting when I saw the preview for Three Tribes. I thought it was maybe going to be like a Murgatory situation. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a three-way Murgatory where like two of the teams like had people that weren't safe or something like that. I don't know. Were you all expecting this? Josh, were you expecting this tonight?
Yeah, I think I was expecting this. You never know with production, like what sort of shenanigans they're going to pull here. But I was like, okay, I think this is going to be three tribes that are all, competing for immunity as tribes. I thought maybe they would go, maybe they would send two tribes to tribal council, so there'd be like 8 people voting. But I also think there was a press release photo of Jeff with 2 idols. So I was like, okay, I think this is just going to be a straightforward thing, which, I don't love like a 4-person tribal council with, random groups, but I way prefer this to, how they've been doing the merge lately. So I step forward in the right direction.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, it's good to see a little bit of a shakeup. I don't know, Abraham, do you think were you happy to see like another tribe swap, or are you ready to see like more people at once at a tribal, or like are you just feeling any other type of way? Walk us through. What do you think?
Well, when the episode started, I was like, what are we doing? This is actually a challenge at the start of the episode. So you kind of knew something was going to happen. But it's always, it's always nice to be different, and Jeff giving that long entry talking about, oh, yeah, we're going to switch it to, we kind of already knew you was going to switch it to 3 when they showed, 3 different spots for challenges. But it was kind of cool to see, okay, who gets thrown where and how do you survive? So season 41, they did the same thing. At some point during the game, they broke it down into 3 tribes after we had already had 2 tribes. So this is not new, but at this stage of the game and how a lot of people have been going out, it was a refreshing way to say, okay, 1, what was the challenge? 2, who was going to be left after? And then I got to get to that grilled cheese. The grilled cheese.
That looks good. I'd be happy about that grilled cheese. I don't know, Bruce. First of all, what did you think of? Like, obviously, we want to talk about the grilled cheese, but what did you think about both the challenge and like the tribe breakups? Like, walk us through. Like, when you saw the tribes, who did you think was like, okay, they've got no shot of winning with this tribe whatsoever?
Well, anyone that was on the bottom of anyone that's on the bottom that came in and they're like multiple people, like they're 3-1, like they have potential to be swap screwed. There's no getting around it, and it would have come down to that. The way that it ended up today is just basically not being screwed. It's just you weren't liked and you were sent home. Challenge was cool. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it, I should say. It just goes to show, like, everybody would sit there and you try to work on, making fire with a flint, and you try swimming and all this other stuff. Now you just gotta throw frisbee in there. You gotta throw hacky sack potentially in there. You gotta throw, ring toss. You got like go to your local fair. Like we have the Washington County Fair here, and literally go to that and play all these little games and win yourself a stuffed animal because that's the only way I survive.
That's a good analogy.
You're honestly right. Like, little carnival games, I feel like you can't get better practice than that. That's such a good point. So as I'm getting ready to potentially apply for Survivor again, that's what I'm going to be doing.
I'm talking about.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, we also saw the 19th player show up today. That environment of Fiji.
Hey, kick Jeff's butt.
Man, that environment is no joke. People that say when you sit on a chair and when they pull the camera back and realize that they're actually in a circle that's surrounded by the jungle, it is hot. It is baking hot. And then it's not like, well, as viewers, you see the challenge get started, but we're prepping for the challenge. So we're there long before the challenge even starts. And it's like, it don't stop being hot. And when you out there and it's hot, I can understand, hey, look, that heat does not play. So future Survivor players, when you see somebody say, hey, I need to take a knee, they need to take a knee for real. On our season, what happened? Oh, no, we had somebody just had to take a pee. And you don't get to leave. If the challenge is about to start and you got to go to the bathroom, you're not going away. We basically just kind of turned and looked the other way. The camera crew and everybody's still right there. You just got to go pee.
I'm sure Paige would love to talk about it. It seems like she likes that kind of stuff.
Hey, you got to go pee. Yeah,
I find that exciting. But
I remember standing there and being like, just standing there, and you have everybody's, sneakers or whatever, but wearing a black pair of sneakers, and you're standing there, and the sun is beating down on you, like your feet are on fire, and there's no way to get around it. You can't turn and move, and like Abraham was saying, like you're sitting in a carved out section of the jungle, and there's no breeze coming over the top and coming down at you. No, there's barely anything. I actually took a second to look at the trees around them to see if there's any breeze. There was nothing. Absolutely nothing. So,
well, Bruce, did y'all have to sit in the medical tent before the challenges start?
Yes,
but we had no chairs.
No chairs sitting on the ground, 40 degrees. Then it's like you pray to God. You would ask them, "Can you please open up the other side so that we can get a breeze in here and/or let some of this heat out?" Because it was just hot. You're just sitting there baking.
So when you get there, they're still prepping. So we sit in a tent together. Not when I say sit, there's no chairs provided. So either you're sitting on the ground or you're standing up waiting. And then we also not talking. So you just hot, you just burning up. So by the time you get to the game, you still hot and burning up. You just actually now about to start filming. So it's kind of interesting, the things that you don't see, how people actually get burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. No, that's so cool to think. Well, cool for me to think about, but like, it's cool, meaning like interesting to think about that, because like there truly are so many elements and people can sit around all day and say like, oh, whatever, they're wearing sweatshirts, but like it's cold in the morning, it's cold at night. Like, of course they're gonna wear sweatshirts at night. Like, we're not talking about that part of the day. We're talking about like in the middle of the afternoon when you're about to do a challenge or whatever.
These challenges popped up between
it's early
11 and 12. And that's the hottest part of the day. Like
Yeah.
there was no getting around it. You are sitting there in the middle of the day. They did all their prep, and then now you're there for however long, dying, and then you get back and you go in the water, then you go in the shade, and it's like this isn't good enough. Like you got to bury yourself in the sand, like under this cold sand, like something. You have to find some kind of relief.
Speaking of which, they should bring back night challenges, like challenges that they do, like either like at Tribal Council where they have some sort of like a quiz, or like I know in China they did at least one of their
it's the one reward challenge. Yep.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
No,
I
it
think
wouldn't.
they did that last in Cambodia because, well, Ko Rong, they had like Caleb almost died, from the heat stroke. And then so when they filmed Cambodia next, they did so they did one challenge at night. They did another one that was really grueling. They did it like at dusk. I think they switched some things around because of the heat. And I don't know, night challenges are fun. Like it switches things up, and like viewers are going to be more tuned in if it's like, even if it's just like the same like copy paste generic challenge. Like if you do it at night, it's going to be more interesting.
I'm not saying they can't do it at night, but let me paint you the picture of night in Fiji. Unless it's a full moon, it is pitch black.
I mean, they have
Well, they got
torches
the
everywhere though,
torches.
for the challenge.
Yeah, the torches everywhere. They'll throw in a couple of fake lighting.
I'll take my shit. Hey, that's where you gonna go fake an injury, because I'm like, there's no running in the jungle at night. I was walking on the beach at night, and I was like, I can't see. It wasn't for the fact that we had a full moon, I'd have basically been in the dark.
Yeah, but for the challenges, the nighttime challenges, they're all like lit by torches everywhere that they go.
Yeah, they're gonna have to throw some stuff out there.
Yeah,
I think we should bring those back.
we should.
I'd be here for it.
I hope it's on your season.
I hope so too. We're
We'll be
manifesting.
like texting Tori, be like, oh, so what about that night challenge?
Somebody heard me say it on this podcast and put it in
What
there.
happened to that night challenge? Hey, Bruce, she went down quick too.
Right.
We're here for support.
I'm on a night challenge. You land in your face.
But we will be typing. Oh, Tori, I saw you on that night challenge. Remember that day we talked about that? So no.
Oh man.
But overall it was a good challenge.
Yeah.
I don't know about the potato chips and the brownies and the cheese. For all future Survivor players, I'm gonna need y'all to think about some things. Cheese and chocolate don't go together.
Well, I mean, Sophie said a few weeks ago about how the fruit was kind of lame, but she wanted like a carb or protein or something like that. She got that with the grilled cheese.
Was that really a grilled cheese, or was that a thin piece of toast with some cheese on it?
I mean, isn't that what grilled chease is?
No, I mean,
essentially,
a grilled cheese is. I looked at that grilled cheese. I was like, did y'all just smash it to the thinnest? And it was like,
Oh my
okay,
God.
we're gonna wrap
They
these
were
up.
pretty small. I was kind of thinking that too. Like I don't know if the second tribe got like smaller sandwiches in general, but when they cut to the second place tribe, like I was kind of thinking that same thought, Abraham. Like I was kind of like, dang, like I thought these would be more gourmet. I thought it was gonna be like Texas toast, like
they should they probably had the guy make them,
meanies.
right? The guy made them up, blah blah blah, and then right before he handed it to me, he goes, and took a bite out of it and handed. There you go. That's the second place.
Look,
I mean, after Bruce famously got a $5 rotisserie chicken from Costco for a reward, like my expectations for the rewards are pretty low.
where'd you get a chicken from?
Totally fair.
From the mainland. That's a good thing about it.
I want to see the spreadsheet that shows like their expenses and like
They used to give away cars. They used to give away cars and overnight spa trips, and now you get a $5 rotisserie chicken from Costco.
They could have cooked something at the main resort and brought it over. I mean, there's plenty of food options available in Fiji. Stop playing with this grilled cheese and some chocolate
They'll
cake.
take anything.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like when I'm out there, like anything sounds good, especially if I'm Sophie B, like who hasn't eaten in 11 days, they said. One thing I will say though, and I think most people like were so here for Sophie with an ease comment about the fruit. She's like, no, give me a carb, like whatever. This is like a crummy reward. I was kind of like, it's only been like less than 10 days at that point when you're complaining about a fruit reward, and you've had Flint this whole time. I'm like, what do you expect your reward to be this far into the game? And the game is only 26 days. I feel like the rewards should be not as good as they used to be. However, I do hear what you all are saying, because now that we do have just 26 days and like it seems like more money to work with because of that, because we're saving money. I think that they could splurge for a slightly better reward than this paper thin grilled cheese that we
Give
got.
me a pizza or something, because some salty chips. Now I got to walk to the well. I got to get something to drink. My throat is dry.
Well, I mean, in some ways, this is kind of going back to like old school Survivor, because you go watch those like, you know, first few seasons. Like, I think in season 1, like Jervis won like a singular slice of pizza for a reward, and
but also the challenges were, you know, take a rolled up piece of paper and throw it in the wastebasket.
you know, I kind of prefer that to some of the challenges we have these days. But you know,
Get the rice back. If you want them to starve, get the rice back. Let them cook their own rice in that raggedy pot, and call it a day. Let them starve themselves out, but don't give them no. Hey, look, let me tell you something. You're gonna eat some cheese and you're gonna eat a brownie. You're gonna eat it because you're hungry. But at the end of the day,
well, it's a kind of a balance in that, because the cheese is gonna bind you up. The brownie's gonna make you flow, so you'll be all right. You know,
it hurts.
Bruce is thinking this through.
I mean, at that point, you just need the calories, right? Like, you don't need anything at that time. You just need the calories.
All right,
At that
coconut.
point, definitely.
So we get that cheese.
I have 2 things to ask though, as much as I'd love to keep talking about grilled cheese, but I have 2 things to ask. They do not go together. So one of them, like, feel free to answer any part of this, or if you have any thoughts about anything related to this. But Jawan was saying, like, early on in the episode, he's like, well, I need to protect my own, which is Uli, and, you know, I'm Uli strong. Meanwhile, Savannah and, you know, it's mainly Savannah at this point, but, you know, theoretically, the people that Savannah's with as well are thinking the next person out when we have the chance is Jawan. Like, he's pissing me off, whatever. Bruce, what do you think about, like, that whole thing? Like, at what point should Jawan flip and, like, go a different way? Or, like, is he ever going to see the need to do that?
well, being the resident pisser offer, you don't really know when you're pissing somebody off. Like, it's such a, you know, the game is fun. It's a social experiment. It is a good thing, but it's one of those things that, you know, you kind of wish, if I'm sitting there with the 4 of us and we're sitting in and you say something that's gonna aggravate me, like, yo, like, what was that? Like, chill, that's stupid. What you're saying is pissing me off. During this game, you can't do that, because you want to be able to curry favor with everybody, but you also get irritated by someone. Like, you know, he doesn't know. He has no idea. Like, yes, he used the water bottle and he used the bag and stuff like that. Like, that's it. That's an irritant. And it doesn't matter. Like, you can sit there and you can apologize until your face turns blue, and people are still going to be like, oh, remember when? Like, there's no getting past it. There's no getting past it. So he doesn't know. He was talking about, staying strong, this, that, and the other, but he has this, just like, and I'll give it myself personally, like, bellow strong. That's what I want to do. And then all of a sudden I find out this one's doing this and this one's doing this. I'm like, yo, all right, whatever. Lines are going, you know, and we kind of move on from there. So, but I don't think he knows that yet. He doesn't know that these people are trying to get rid of him. And, you know, he's annoying and all.
The difficult part of Survivor is, I'm sorry, Bruce. The difficult part of Survivor is not the filming of it. That's going to be mentally and physically on you as well. But now you sit back and you see the missing pieces to the conversation. And no matter how good we are after the show is over and how much we're kumbaya and we're talking before the show airs, when I see what you said about me, I'm like, hold up. That was some old craziness right there. I didn't think Jawan was playing the game of Survivor until tonight. Tonight episode said he plays the game of Survivor. Because up until tonight, he was, hey, I want to be strong with my tribe. Understandable. But at some point, you got to realize with all this mixing around and everybody moving, you got to be agile enough to say, hey, let's work together. Let's work together. We vibe. And I think we're going to see that as the episode goes on where he's vibing with Steven. But at the end of the day, seeing it right now and seeing how people talk about you and what they said about you, no matter how you go about it, you like, hey, man, so that was really what you said. So even it's a social experiment, it's on 2 sides of social experiment. One when you're playing the game and one when you get home and you're watching the game. Because now all your family and friends around. I'm going to tell you right now, my mama could not stand Tiffany. Oh, no. You voted her baby out. She wasn't trying to have that. You know how many people just hated Tiffany? And I was like, Tiffany is a great person. because it was the game. I chalk it up to the game, but it's a hard game to watch back sometimes. And I think as he watches back, he'll really. I don't think Savannah's that person. I think she may be in person. She's a nice person, but coming off now, she just sound kind of. She just kind of like yeah. I would vote her out immediately because every time you turn around, she want to vote somebody out. So I'm like, this is vote her out.
Yeah, actually, like that's a good question. Like, Josh, what do you think is going to happen with that? So, like, we saw this is obviously skipping way ahead, but
Yeah.
Jawan is wanting to be Uli strong, and that was a big reason that he had pause about voting out Shannon, because he's like, she has really good ties with all these people that I also think I have good ties with. Like, is this going to piss them off to the point where like now I'm the next to go or something? Like, who do you think Jawan is going to work with at the merge? Like, do you think they're going to accept him back and then cut his throat, or like, what do you think is going to happen?
See, I thought that Jawan should have at least considered trying to make something work with Matt and Jason more on his first swap tribe, because, you know, he is like, oh yeah, Uli strong. I'm a, you know, loyal soldier for Uli, but that's a structure that doesn't serve him. So when he was putting himself out there for them, I was like, okay, you know, I get it that you really want to take a huge swing for Matt and Jason. But now I'm glad that he did, because even if, you know, Rizzo and Savannah and Nate want to still be Uli strong, like they need him so much more now than they did before. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he knew that necessarily like the core four or whatever, if you will, was Shannon, Nate, Savannah, Rizzo on the like original Red Tribe. But he was on the outs there. But now if they want to like maintain their tribe of like keeping the Uli Hina war, you know, going, then he's a way more critical piece of that puzzle than he was before. And now he has the connection with Steven, which kind of opens things up with the other yellow tribe. And, you know, and that also, I think a huge factor too is Sage and how, where, you know, if she sees herself working more with the original yellow or the original red, because if he, I don't know, I feel like he has a lot more options now. So I like the move from him.
I agree with you to a certain extent, but the fact is that I think what's going to happen is that Jawan is away from them, and they're gonna. It's easy. It's easy for people to be in this game, and then all of a sudden you get annoyed by someone, and you turn around and you just find someone else. And if you just mention, "Hey, this person annoys me," they do, perfect, work with us. And now Jawan is like now further and further away from that nucleus that we were talking about, the core that were there. And once that happens, it's so hard to get back, because now you have two people with their mindset that convince one other person. So now you then technically have to find three other people to work with you. Where are we getting these numbers from? You know, people that you weren't with, you know, from day one. So now it turns into a little bit of a battle. So, you know, yeah, I think Jawan's going to be in a little bit of trouble the next 2 weeks.
I don't think so. I think that he solidified himself with a group that he could work with. Like I said, when you start switching tribes because you got to think about it, when they switched tribes and him and Steven together, it was like they were long lost buddies. They were singing the same. I don't know where them jokes came from, but they had the same type of jokes. They were laughing at the jokes. They were both Marvel super fans and stuff. You don't know who you're going to vibe with until you get on another tribe or you get a tri swap. So I think we got all this swapping around. I think he's more comfortable, and I think he's going to be more trustworthy of the new group compared to the old group. Because now you got somebody you vibing with. It's different. It's different when you're on the tribe because you got stuck on the tribe with them. And you're like, oh man. But then you meet somebody else, you'd be like, oh yeah, you from where? Oh yeah, I look at that too. You like Mr. Rogers? Oh, that's my guy. And now we vibing on something. And now I'm like, I feel that little level of trust I can go with you versus somebody on the other tribe where we see Sage. Let me tell you what, Sage can't never play poker. I hope she ain't no poker player because she gives it all up in her facial expressions, which for this season, for the most expressive reactions to anybody, I'm gonna give Sage credit because she gives her opinion in her face every time.
The problem you run into though is that once you start the game, and you get that thing. It's a funny thing. Once you get, hold on, bear with me for a second. Once you get this, when you start the game
Hey,
and you're with those people and you're hanging out with them. And then all of a sudden, you then turn around and you get Abraham. You wouldn't know this, but I'm gonna show you. Then you get this, and then all of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, does this trump this? No, it does not. Like, it's weird. This thing still stays with you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. And even when you get this, Abraham, it still does not trump this original thing that you get. So it's like,
And the
in my
original
mind,
bag,
it's just
baby. I've never taken it out the
Dang,
bag,
okay.
man. 41.
authentic.
Bruce,
And-
going off of what your point though, like because of the strength of that original tribe thing, like if everybody else wants to keep that going, like yes, Jawan might have taken a swing against them, but if Rizzo and Nate and Savannah want to keep, you know, the original Red Tribe strong, like they can no longer afford to take a shot at Jawan like they were considering doing last week. Because if they do that, then they completely concede the numbers to the Yellow Tribe. So
how many are left?
there's 11 in the game right now.
No, how
But
many?
it's
How many
four.
ones?
There's 5 of the original Red, 4 of the original Yellow.
So there's
I think
five
that's
left.
that's gone.
There's 6 red, right?
No,
Yeah,
no,
I think-
that's right, the-
There's Shannon was the Shannon was
Shannon
the
was,
original.
okay,
So now
yeah,
there's 5 red, 4 yellow, 2 blue.
I think that's gone. I think that we're gonna see what happens. I think tonight episode is the fracture in red. This is the fracture for. I don't think they can come back together because Jawan is gonna realize that. Hey, well, I think if he didn't realize tonight that he was at the bottom, he definitely should say, you know what? If I was already at the bottom, I must have been at the bottom. If he don't get it tonight, he's not gonna get it, and he's gonna be the one. You know that bubble person on the jury, the one that don't make the jury. That's gonna be Jawan. But I got.
That was Shannon.
Yeah,
I think starting next week, everyone's gonna be on the jury.
no, it's 11.
There's-
11 or
there's
left.
11
It
next
starts,
week.
yeah, there's 11 people left, so I think that everyone's gonna make the
Yeah,
jury from
you
here
might
on
be
out.
right.
Oh,
This is
that's
going to be
good.
the first time in history that, since 40, that somebody doesn't get, mergatory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank goodness.
First
I
time in the
hated
new
that.
era.
But do you actually think that will happen though? Because that would mean 8 jury members.
That's what it always is in
Yeah.
the new era.
Isn't it 7?
It's 8.
Oh my
Bruce,
god!
some
Yeah.
Bruce should know. How many is it, Bruce?
No, it's 8.
4 and 4, 8.
8.
Oh,
So
wow.
I have been thinking. I've been thinking 7 like this whole time.
Yeah, no, they've been starting the jury at 11 in all these.
I'm glad they eliminated
For a
somebody through a
while.
challenge, and we didn't have to worry about that being that bubble person. I hated that bubble thing.
I hated that too. I hated the post merge split tribes thing too. I hated
Yeah.
that.
I'm so with that. Like, yeah, if this is in fact, if like Shannon was the last vote before the jury, and I think best case scenario, we just have a straight up merge, and we don't have any sort of like.
Is this the final
That's what it
season when they
looked like. We
finally
saw
get
a
the
lot of
merge?
in
Everybody
the
gets
previews,
merges.
there was a lot of merge buffs.
Yeah,
merge
it's a
feast for everyone. Which
Let's
what
not
it needs to
know.
go
It's
back
gonna be
to.
peanut butter and jelly sandwich and hot chocolate. I like to give a shout out to. I can't call him. I'm gonna call him Riz Jr. He can't be called. If you can't put no flippers on, you're called Riz Jr. And I like to go ahead and take this time out, CBS, and say, get rid of the fishing gear. Get rid of it. Nobody wants it. Nobody can go out there and fish. So go ahead and get rid of it.
He tried,
No, he
failed.
didn't.
but he tried.
Well, You
Did
can't
he
put
though?
fins on it. You don't supposed to put the fins on the beach. You're supposed to get in the water, put the fins on in the water. But
Yeah.
if he was Riz God, he would know that. But Riz God ain't got no God like tendencies, so he didn't know. So guess what? That
He's
dude
not
ain't Riz
God.
God. He's Riz Jr. from here on out.
Yeah, no comment.
He's Riz Jr. from here on out.
What did you say,
Jr.?
Josh? No comment?
No comment.
I called you.
What do you mean, Josh? Josh, wait, hold on. Josh, what do you mean? What are you trying to say?
That's crazy.
You know,
Are you not a Riz God guy?
I have other favorites this season.
That's a
Yeah, I have
good.
other
That's a good
favorites.
sidestep. That's a good sidestep.
Very
Yeah.
PC of you, my friend. Very
Yeah.
PC.
You know,
No, Riz Jr.
I'm gonna tell you this. Listen, when we're talking about this, I'm gonna bring it up. I met Rizgad at in Boston. Boston?
Riz Jr.
I met him in Boston. Okay, that's the first time right now that I've ever called him Rizgad. I don't think I'll ever do it again. But the fact of the matter is that he it's been rumored that he's on 50. He's on 50, and I'm sitting there, and they're in a challenge. They do the challenges. There were 2 challenges that they did, and they amplified his voice to be like, God, we did this is a great job. Good job, guys. We should pick up on that. We pick up on the things that they try and try. It's a subliminal message. I don't know if you all know about subliminal messages, but back in the day, they used to sit there and you watch a horror movie, and then they would flash like guts or whatever, and it would make you feel sick to your stomach. And you go to the movies, and you would get sick in the movies watching a movie, and you're like, oh my God, why is this so disgusting? Same exact psychological things happening to us. They're force feeding us this young man. He is a great person. He narrates a lot, and we see a lot of him. What is his confessional account? It's got to be up there, way up there.
Not as high, surprisingly, as Savannah and Sophie, but it is up there.
But they're giving us way too much. Like, fine, he's on 50. Okay, we got you.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be surprised a little bit. You know. So
I see one person right now that I would take off of this cast and say, okay, you know what? They'll make a good fit for 50. I don't see anybody else at this point in the game that's just like, oh man, I think I should see you on 50. There's only one player at this time right here for me and that's MC. I don't see anybody else where I'll be like, oh shit, I got to put you on 50. You such a mastermind. Nah. Oh, I'll put Sage on there. I'll put Sage on there. So Sage and MC right now will be the only people that I'll be like, you know what? I could see them being pulled to be on 50 because I think they'll be impactful players. But I don't see where Riz Jr. is that stand out where he just beats out somebody else from 41 until 49. I don't see it. I don't see where anybody beats out anybody that couldn't be any player. So we could get another Sophie. We can get another Sage. These are players that are interchangeable. I think MC just a beast in her position where she's playing. If that's the case, we might as well throw Alex on 50. So he at least got a life-changing experience going on with himself. So I just don't see it right now. Again, that could change. That could change. You know, we get to the merge and we might see some whole different gameplay. But right now, MC is the only one that really kind of stands out to say, okay, if you pluck her to put her on 50, I can see it.
Yeah.
I do think, speaking of Alex, these past couple of weeks, he's had a couple of moments, like, you know, heartfelt moments, like last week with the chickens. And then this week when he was going in the water and he was like, you know, this is just like so amazing for me. I'm just really living in the moment, like really here for the experience. I don't know. Do we think that they're trying to like slip us little clues that he's going far and maybe even getting a winner's edit? What do y'all think about that?
I don't know about winner, but I do think that like once Alex and Sophie survived the initial like pre-swap phase and they were the two who made it there, I think the red and yellow tribe are just looking at each other so much that I don't think either Alex or Sophie B are going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah. And I think that they're both being poised to be like kind of main characters this season.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's serial filler. I think he has a great story. Like I tell people, you don't want to vote out a bunch of people up front. You want to look, we got our 3 or 4 players right now that we're champion right now. We don't care about how no other player do. As long as these 3 are keep moving forward, we're happy. You don't get that on episode 1 and 2. You have to build it up and be like, oh, okay, yeah. That's a good move. And you start to develop your, hey, I want to ride with these players next time. So I think Alex is just in that position now where we get to see more of his story. And who don't like a good change of who you are going through a process story on Survivor? We see it all the time. We saw it last season. You know, so we see it every season where we get to know a little more personal about different characters on the actual Castaway. So I like it, man. Go ahead. Keep doing what you're doing, Alex.
Yeah, he's been a lot of fun. I love Alex. My other question from earlier, which was completely unrelated, I really wanted to talk about like where we thought Juwan was going to go. But guys, Bruce, Abraham, Josh, you all can speak on this. Like, what do we think about the whole Uncle Jay?
I don't know who came up. They trashed him on that one. He got trashed.
Like, someone like, am I the only one that thinks it's a little annoying? Like,
yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I think people try to, I don't know, make Jeff
curry favor.
Yes.
Try to curry favor.
Yeah.
And it's, listen, shoot shot. Do what you got to do. I got you. I understand. I don't like they're too young. Like Jeff's like
No.
what 64?
62?
63, 64, I think. Yeah.
So he'd be great, Uncle Jeff.
Okay, look, who uncle could he be? I guess he could be.
I mean, I'm the same. I'm 33, and I have like actual uncles around that age. So
Yeah,
you know,
I don't
get
know.
it.
I just don't. I would never call him Uncle Jeff. I
Yeah,
wouldn't. It's kind of one of those things. I don't know. For me personally, it's like it's a sign. Like this is Jeff. Like he allows me to call him Jeff. If not, it's Mr. Prost. Like that's how it is. And
I'll be like, hey, what's up, Jeff? That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, and he enjoys that. And then I've called when we were coming out on the mat, so that good morning, sir. Like I don't know. He's not that much older than I am. What? Maybe 13 years, 14 years older than me, but it's like I still look at him and say like it's a different level. Like this is Jeff, like the Uncle Jeff thing. You got Mama J and you got Mama C and you got all that other stuff. I appreciate that, but because of your castmates, but
yes,
I can't get past.
That's it right there. It's like people you're living with and playing with, and you're like building
you're too familiar with Jeff at this point.
Yeah,
yes, and they gave him nicknames. I was looking at something. They had Tarzan talking about Riz on somebody's podcast, and he was like, "Look, I didn't give myself the name. They gave me the name during the course of our season that they call him Tarzan, but I didn't give myself the name. So if I just don't think it fits. I think they tried it and it just with their tribe in this season that they just go with it. But I'm like,
yeah,
that's like me going out there saying,
I don't know. Maybe
I'm going out there and saying, hey, I remind myself of Coming to America, Sexual Chocolate. So I'm gonna go out there. Everybody's gonna call me sexual chocolate, and it's like,
I'm a grown man. I ain't calling you sexual shit. I'm a grown ass man.
Stop. That's like what's his name? Jelinsky, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He's got Jelinsky energy, but he made it further than Jelinsky did.
Yeah,
like it's just whatever. The kids, like I said, I'm talking about the player, the character on the show.
Yes,
he's a good kid. And yes, I can say kid because that's what we do in New England. He's a good kid, and I appreciate him being on the show. And he makes me laugh when I listen to 3/4 of the stuff that he says. But then other things are just like, oh man, you're not. No, you're not in that. Because I'm here. I'm God. Like no.
Wait, which player were you talking about just now? Riz,
yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just with it. I was like, man, just get in the water, man. It's easy. It's so much easier once you get in the water to put the fins on.
I remember Jake walking around with those on.
Yeah, it's so much easier. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Speaking of Survivor 50 players, they kept making these like Ozzy comparisons. I'm like, did Ozzy even? I mean, Tori, we just watched Cook Islands, did Ozzy even use the flippers? I feel like his whole thing is he's just got this like supernatural like lung capacity and can just be like down there for like 3 minutes or something. Like, unless you don't need flippers and you
don't really need the fins because the water wasn't that deep, but Ozzy was a swimmer. Yeah, he was a real swimmer. I mean, we had two. Sarah was a swimmer on our tribe and during our season, and I think Sydney was a swimmers on our season. You can tell who in Brad. You can tell who's a swimmer.
And that right there is what makes a difference. Because one time I was up at a lake with some of my friends, and I lost my watch, like fell to the bottom of the lake, and some of us were swimming around looking for it. And my one buddy is a swimmer, and he could be down there looking for like 45 seconds at a time, and the rest of us could only be down there for like 15 seconds tops before we need to come up for more air.
So Brad and Sarah, we all went to this place where you dive off this cliff in Wyoming. He's like, how are you gonna go dive off the cliff? I came out there, I was like, man, no, that's not, I'm not doing that. I was like, to me, it was looking dangerous, looking real dangerous. But they were literally diving off, going into the water. I was like, nah, I'm good. But he could swim. If you go back to our very first jumping off the boat, Brad is the only person on our season that just dove in the water like a natural swimmer. So I just think that's one of those things. If you don't really swim, you can't pull it off. Because even for me, I can swim, but I have to go back in the pool before I went on Survivor, so I could get better, or I could get reacquainted with swimming again. And then they test you out. Okay, Bruce, I don't know how they did job, but we had to go through the swim instructor or the swim guy before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to do that too? Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
basically
see
in, like,
what level of
shallow in the
swimming you
pool.
are. Yeah, they see what kind of level of swimmer you are to see if they got to save your life while you out there in that deep water called shallow. But Tori, can you swim?
Can I swim? I can swim. Yes. I
Okay.
don't know though. Like, I don't know the last time I like really swim. Actually, no. Over the summer, I chaperoned some kids at a camp and for my work, and there was this thing called swim across the lake, and you swam across the lake and back, and I went with them. That was
Hold on.
like
You went with them? You swam with them, or you went with you using a boat?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Just
It
checking.
wasn't like a rough lake or anything. It was just like whatever, a small lake in Michigan, and there were young kids doing this. Like, it wasn't like that big of a deal. But I think that, like, come to think of it though, that's like one of the most recent times that I've actually been swimming, not in an actual pool. And it is a totally different beast, even in like waters that are not that rough. It's like, it's a lot harder. So how would I fare out there would be a lot different than like what I think I'm capable of out here.
Hey Tori,
something.
we asked
In
the
the-
wrong. Hold on, Bruce. We asked the wrong person. My bad. Bruce, can you swim?
Well, I mean,
yeah, I can swim. I can swim like a buck. I'm gonna tell you this real quick. I am not swimming in no damn lake. Unlike that stupid doll you're holding on to right there, which is Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees lives in a lake, so I am not swimming in a damn lake. Nope.
Dang.
Yes,
Now I'm scared too. Like, what lives in there are probably a lot of weird creatures that I'm unaware of, but we don't think about that when we're
The days is over. Hey, Fiji got a lot of dangerous stuff out there too. So have fun at it. But yeah, Riz just couldn't do it, so he put that back. While we on Riz, how do y'all think about or feel about when MC came up on him and said, "Hey, I know you got an idol."
Is he skipping ahead, Tori?
That's the
I didn't actually write this part down, so I'm curious what you all have to say, because I have some thoughts, but I want to know your opinions first. So whoever wants to go first.
I think she has an idol, right? So if the worst case they lose, they go to tribal. She plays her idol.
Did she find it already?
She found it like before the first swap. Yeah, actually, no, she didn't, but she will. Like, everyone super high likely, like everyone who as soon as they lose, she'll find it. Although I guess the question then would be like, would Sophie take it from her with the knowledge is power? But like, whatever. Either way, she's like feels pretty secure because she's gonna have an idol. So basically what she's accomplishing there is driving a wedge between the original Red tribe. So being like, hey, Sage ratted you out, so I don't really know, Rizzo, like what you think, where you think Sage is at, but she's not really with you because she just sold you down the river to all of us for nothing, really. So not that would, I don't know. I don't know if it would like buy her anything, but it would definitely like weaken the original Red bond a little bit.
It'll take the heat off of her, I think, just basically making it so that she would be able to roam freely and try and find this thing and get it, and no one will ever suspect her having it. She's not told anybody in regards to what it is.
Did she tell Steven? Steven is the only person that knows on their tribe that she has it.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Steven was the only one that knew she found it.
When did she tell Steven? I'm sorry.
When they were out looking for it, he's nearby, so she shared it with him. So I think that's the only other person that knows.
Okay.
So which is good. But it also prompted them to go saying, hey, we're on a Doom Island, there's something out here. So I'd like to give a shout out to Sophie this year for not telling nobody nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank goodness.
I love that.
Yep. Absolutely.
I agree. I actually think so. The moment with MC and Rizzo was interesting because obviously Rizzo also feels safe, and like it doesn't seem like he's that worried about MC knowing, because he's like, well, I have an idol, so if I ever get an inkling of something, I can just play the idol. But I actually think so. If we get the merge next week, so like everybody obviously comes together. I actually think that this is good for Sage because the old Red tribe is going to be pissed at her. So now she's going to be like, okay, well, I didn't really have that strong of ties with those people anyway. So now I really have to go and work with other people. So then actually old Hina, like whoever's coming together from old Hina. So like MC, Steven, even Christina, yeah, like all those people might then get Sage and might even get Jawan because they might be pissed at Jawan, but like they're gonna want to work with him.
I don't think they have the numbers anymore. I think the numbers are going to be unbalanced. I did hear something that I thought was really, really odd, just for me, not for you, right? For the listeners. When Shannon said she saw herself in the womb, I was like,
that was something.
That was, I mean, look, just like y'all, we when we play, we only know a certain amount of stuff about each other until we meet each other. Until I met Bruce and met him and talked to him, I know certain things about him. But when she said that, I was like, man, I can't wait to meet her. I can't wait to see if she's anything like she played or how she's presenting her game in Survivor. Because I'm like, that's kind of different. I ain't never had that manifestation, but that's just me.
So I got a story in regards to, then I don't want to go too far off, but this is in regards to Shannon. I was in Newport, Rhode Island. I was at like an Oyster Fest or something like that, and she and her boyfriend, and I didn't, really put anything together, but she and her boyfriend pulled up alongside and they stopped and like Bruce from Survivor. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, hey, what's going on? Drinking my drink, and just had a quick little conversation because they were in traffic. So, and then that was it, and I left. So I went to Boston to the Greatest Bar, and her family owns that. That's where the cafe is. And I got to talking to her. Sweetest thing. She's just a kind, gentle human being. And she reminded me of that. And I'm sitting there, she's telling me the story, and I'm like, oh, and I remember the situation and when it had happened. Then she was nice. When I met her and we spoke in person, extremely nice. Like her family's extremely like this is what I'm talking about. A lot of times people see someone on TV and they, oh my God, space shot, jerk, whatever. But in real life, they are the kindest and most gentlest person. So if I sat and spoke to her because I'm not a traditionally religious person, in Survivor, again, you need to listen to what these people are saying. And you're like, oh, go ahead, preach, girl, mother, blah, 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 whatever these kids say nowadays, all that other stuff. You're just going to say that because you're in a game where you don't want to piss anybody else off or piss anybody off so that you can try to win $1 million. But in real life, like the way that eyes are being rolled now at it, they would happen to her face. And she'd be like, all right, maybe I shouldn't have this conversation. But right now she's being baited. And everybody's like, oh my God, that's so great. You're such a spiritual person. And she's like, okay, now they are saying it's okay, so I can do and say whatever I want, So that's the only reason why I think that she's getting under people's skin, because they don't agree with her and they have to hear her. They can't just say, I'm an atheist. You can't talk like that in front of me. Like, no one's going to say that. Not to try to win $1 million.
I think we're going to see some of the realest tribal council we've seen in a while on this tribal council. But it's like I said, until we get to meet everybody, or like I'll text Alex and be like, hey, great episode, and back and forth, and then we meet each other. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So, but never formulate who you think that person is by looking at him on a 90-minute TV show, because there's a couple of people. It's probably about 3 people that if I've ever seen play Survivor that I truly would not say nothing to by virtue of how they played the game. I think it's about 3 folks, and I'm like, nah, we will never say, and it's just me. I'm like, one dude I accidentally was gonna put hands on because I remember his season and what he had done, and I was like, shit, got an opportunity to get that dude because
now you have to tell us who it was.
He was we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that one after the podcast.
Okay, sounds good. We're the podcast after dark, y'all. Maybe we'll put it on Patreon.
I almost accidentally put my hands on the wrong person until somebody straightened me out.
Anyway, well, that should be an interesting story for us to hear later off air. And I mean, I have no doubt, by the way, that Shannon is like a very kind and like likable person. And I think to her credit, she was really like, I don't know, people were buying that from her. Like they were seeing her authenticity and kindness. Like last week, I said this on the pre-show, but at least two separate people, so Christina and Alex, like when they were pulled aside by like MC and Steven and people like that, and they were like, what's your vibe with Shannon? Both those people were like, we really like her and we want to work with her. Like she's really like, we're really vibing with Shannon. So again, to her credit, like she clearly is good at building connections in an authentic, real way. So yeah, I have no doubt that I would like her in person for sure. But we saw some more of Sophie with an E this episode, which I was really excited about because I, you know, as viewers, we did not know her at all. So I do believe this was before the immunity challenge. And we get Sophie's beach, which I think is the new, is that the yellow, the new Hina?
I think they're red.
I think they're red. Yeah, you're right. So the new Uli tribe is Christina, Sophie with an E, Alex, and Nate. And, you know, it seems pretty clear at first that they're going to vote Nate if they find themselves at tribal council because he's the lone wolf over there. He's the only original Uli, things like that. But then Christina starts to talk about how Sophie's going to be the decoy vote. And they're going to, you know, she's kind of throwing her name out there. And Sophie's like, you know what? That's actually not the first time that she's thrown my name out there. So Abraham, let's start with you, and then we can like kind of go around and say like, what do we think about this tribe as a whole? Like, what do we think? Like, where do we think these people are going to go from here? What do we think is going to happen?
For this one, I think it's a good opportunity to see if Nate's actually a survivor player. I like because I want to see how he reacts to a situation that, like he said himself, I was basically on top on my tribe. Now I'm in a new situation. Sophie, we really, like anything else, the edit hasn't shown us much of Sophie. Until she actually tonight, I didn't think she was still playing the game of Survivor because the edit just didn't present her to say, okay, let's build something with this character. Christine, we got the up front because she was a little under the weather when the challenge started. So the dynamics of this particular group, I like it because now you got to learn how to play. Because now you swap, okay, I might be at the bottom of this situation right here. What do I do? I got Sophie, I got Alex, you know, who do I go to? And we see where Christine may not look like she's playing the game of Survivor, but she's playing. She's playing because I wouldn't have thrown anybody's name out there. I said, hey, we need to put a situation where if we do lose, we need to make somebody feel comfortable like Nate because he's the last person here. I wouldn't have gave up any of our names. I wouldn't say, hey, I say, hey, we need to do whatever it takes to make them feel comfortable. And it's amazing to me how we're 49 seasons in on this new era. From 41 to 49. And we see people do stuff. You'd be like, did you look at 41 through 48? Was that just, you didn't binge watch it once they told you was good? Because I'd have been like, don't ever throw nobody's name out. Throw a situation out.
Yeah, that was the first thing I said to my wife was, oh, shit. Like, why did she say her name?
She gone.
You know what I mean? Like, she dictated it and said, you know, go brawl with him. I'll make him feel comfortable. And then and then it was brought up a decoy name. Well, yeah, it's yours. Like, almost want to fall on the sword a little bit. Like, not you. Just put my name's a decoy. You know, you make him feel comfortable. My name, like, or whatever. Or like you said, Abraham, I'll agree with you once today. Don't put it down and don't say anybody's name. Just this, and this. And who's decoy name? Well, no, there's no decoy name. We'll just find out where his head's at and then kind of go from there. Like, we won't put any names out. Like, it is what it is. But it's like, it's so weird to me. Again, like you said, so now the second time we're agreeing with you, damn it. And you sit like you can't be under a rock when you're watching all this. Don't put anybody's name down because now what's going to happen is in 2 tribal councils, you threw my name out as a decoy name. Well, here you go. Now you're going to be the next one voted out. Like it's whatever you do comes back to bite you somehow, some way in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be interested to see where they go from there, or if it even really comes back around, because Sophie and Christina might really have no choice but to come together at the merge and like work together because, you know, of how things are going to be split off with people's prior relationships and things like that. Everyone, we are going to take a quick ad break, and when we come back, we'll talk about immunity and tribal council.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. No, not them. I'm talking straight to you. Are you interested in even more Survivor content? Make sure to check out Survivor Now's Patreon page. We've got some incredible stuff going on over there, like an exclusive interview with the Dragon Slayer, Coach. Can you believe it? As well as many seasons that we revisit, so much bonus content, and there's 2 tiers to choose from. Either be a faithful member for $3 a month, or be a legend for $5 a month. There's also a 1-week free trial for the legend tier if you're interested. So what are you waiting for? Go to the link in the description below and join our Patreon today. I better see you there. All right, let's go back to the show.
All right, a little bit about Patreon there. Maybe we'll have some good stories for you coming up on that page soon. You never know what we're going to have. But we get the immunity challenge, and, this was an interesting, in general, I'm personally really enjoying the challenges this season because, yes, it is kind of like original recipe for some of them, but each one seems to have its own little added twist, some of which we've really never seen before or haven't seen like in a while. So I thought that this was a pretty interesting immunity challenge. Josh, what did you think of the challenge?
It was, I think I like this sort of challenges where everybody has to do a certain role. And I like that. I mean, I guess the ball maze thing is technically kind of a puzzle, but I like challenges that don't end in a puzzle these days. Yeah, I don't know. It inspired teamwork since there's only 4 of them and everyone has to have their own hero moment in some way. So, it wasn't outstanding, but I liked it more than a lot of the other challenges this season.
Absolutely. Wait, and everyone, remind me really quick, because I think I'm getting this confused with the reward challenge at the first part. So the first leg of the race, was that where they stacked the bags, or was that the reward challenge?
That was this one.
Yeah, that's right. They stacked the bags, and apparently they couldn't help each other. They couldn't hold the bags up. So whatever you stack, you had to stand on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then because the yellow tribe, they just like made like kind of a pile rather than like stacking them up straight, and that works better because that give a stronger foundation.
It's crazy. Before the challenge start, and Jeff says, "Hey, let's strategize." He really mean, "Hey, let's strategize." It's not like it's not a strategy to this. So it's kind of odd when you see certain people at certain stages of the game. Well, rephrase, certain stages of the challenge. You be like, "How did you get there? How did they put you right there?" Because I don't think Christine was a good fit for tying the thing up, because Shannon was like, "Hey, tie it up like you tie your kids' hair up." I was like, "What the hell is that?" When Bruce is like, "You hear certain things, he's like, tie like you tie your kids' hair. What kind of shit you talking?" But anyway,
Yeah.
I was like, just tied in a knot with because we've seen that in old school Survivor, where you got to make that long out of flamesy stuff. And for Steven, he said, "Hey, how many is it? How many did she try?" He was like, "Oh, it's 6." Juwan was like 6 or 7.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Ooh. Yeah, how many do you need? Because his arms are longer. So it's wild when you kind of sit back and listen to what they're saying as far as the motivational part of it. Juwan, to me, is the most motivational person on this season of Survivor. Motivational person. Every time
until he's trying to make fire and as a hissy fit.
Yeah, no. Man, that was like episode 2.
Don't worry. See, if I'm thinking about it, it's in somebody else's mind too, and they ain't got nothing else to think about. They're not doing anything else other than sitting there trying to survive on this beautiful show.
But back to the strategy part. If you're nervous, if you're easily nervous, or you too overhyped, don't put them on something that requires balance. Dude, I was like, what strategy was this? What was the strategy?
The thing is, he probably, and that's where I was going with it. Is it on his part of it? And Juwan, love you. I had the pleasure to meet you. He's a great young man. It was almost like you're sitting there watching someone and they see a fly or a bee go by and they're just like, and then it just kind of comes towards him, and it's just like a complete freak out. And it's like that's what he did every time, every single time. Every time it was like he's holding, and also wham! It's like, and those are so delicate because I did it. You're holding on one person trying to move the thing along, and you got to kind of move your arms, like you got to be in the moment. And then as soon as it got that within like I don't know 2 inches of the friggin' hole,
He threw that
gang
thing
and the
up.
whole thing. He did it so hard that it flew off the back of the friggin' the whole mechanism. Like, how does that happen?
Hey, where's the strategy at? I'm like, okay, where's your strategy at? Who said you was good? I would
He
give
probably said
Riz
he was
and
good.
Savannah credit. They had a perfect coordination. Take your time, don't rush. But
High fives every single time. That was Nate, right?
yeah.
Nate was just sitting there. He's like, "Good, yes, awesome."
Oh yeah.
Then I get to the next week. Yeah, oh, got you. Yes,
I don't know if he had. Hold up. So Bruce, let's back up. How much time did you have to be able to give her a high five? They either had to be way behind and just edit just kind of shows like, hey, good job. Be like, I'm like, hey, I ain't worried about that part. Let's just keep going until we get it done.
Listen, but he's doing it like it's fortunate but unfortunate. Like Nate being older has to reinforce. Good job. Get the next spot. Good job. Like that's what I was getting out of that whole scenario is that he's reinforcing to this person that's on the side of him that they're doing a good job. Because if it's like, oh, let's move to the next, go to the next. Because in his mind, he probably was like, let's get this thing done. We're done.
Christine's gonna get voted out on this one because I was like,
right?
You can't even make a stick. I'm like,
so I think that he was doing his due diligence, his job with the person he was teamed up with, and knowing that a little bit of additional motivation went a very, very long way.
I like that come from behind win. I don't really like when they just blow you out.
Yeah.
I like when somebody because they should have lost.
Yeah,
but hey, like Jeff say, never give up. You never know, and they just never gave up. But I like that I get to see how Christine interacts with Nate. Nate, they said Nate was a pure, unadulterated liar. Like that dude is lying. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, shout out to Christina who left a comment in our chat. We love, love her. Love that she's tuning in. Can't believe I would have drafted her. Definitely not let her go.
She's on my team.
I know. It's
just you and me solo. Let's go.
But I think didn't they put subtitles during the challenge? Like, oh, we need to save you for the puzzle to Nate or Alex, right? Or Nate or Sophie. Did they? Am I imagining that? I think they said that when Christina was running to do the sticks thing. I think they said, "Oh, we need to save you for the puzzle," and they put it in subtitles. So anytime they do that in a challenge, I feel like that's clue in. Like, okay, this is going to be significant later.
Yeah.
That thing was, I was like, hey, just throw the stick over there, knock it off, whatever it is. And Jeff said, well, you still got to get the ring with the stick, man. Just drag it on the ground.
Yeah, it's easier once you get it off the ring, then you can just
drag it on the ground.
Drag it on the ground, yeah.
I was saying though at that part, like I would do everything I could not to be in charge of that part of the challenge. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, there are definitely like I feel like that's one of those things where you just have to kind of like try it out and see what works. So like for that reason, I guess like sure anybody can do it. I just know like I would hit panic mode once it like was flimsy like that, and I feel like I would never get it right. So
hey, look,
that element of the challenge, tying the sticks together is like a Survivor classic. I mean, they've done it. I know they did it in Pearl Islands. They might have even done it earlier than that.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah, no, they've been doing it for a long time. And I know Malcolm even said in his season, so like 12, 13 years ago.
It's nerve-wracking
before going to do it. And he won a challenge that involved that because he like practiced it in his backyard. So I guess future Survivor players, for quoting Abraham here, like practice tying sticks together and retrieving something off a key off a ring or something. You never know when it's going to come in clutch.
Yeah, the way they're encouraging her too. Like, retire, like, take your time, do what you got to do.
Yeah,
like, that's what.
Because Jeff is right, man. If you mentally check out of a challenge, you never know if you can win. We've seen so many come from behind victories on Survivor, man. That's what makes the episode. But some of y'all need to start doing some stuff at the house before y'all get out there, because this ain't no OJT job. You may be going home on your OJT thing.
I'll get started. I'll be tying sticks together tonight.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys.
No, I got some Flint runners somewhere, but I had Flint at home, and this is crazy. I had to go get my shoes, and I needed some Flint, and it was a pandemic, and it was an ice storm. I was kind of frustrated with the whole process of trying to get everything and find a store that was open. And what they do is your wardrobe. I don't know how Bruce them did theirs, but for our wardrobe, I had to send in pictures. And they'll be like, yeah, we can work with that. No, we don't want to work with that. No, we don't want that. No, we can't. And it's like, I don't have anything yellow in my closet. Yellow wasn't a color that I just had a bunch of. So, and you have to go buy like yellow underwear and all kind of craziness. And they giving you ideas and stuff. And I said, hey, look, man, by this time I was tired. And I was like, hey, dude, I'm about to be on Survivor, man. Y'all got some Flint? He was like, oh, yeah, man. That's a favorite show. Me and my wife look at it. Oh, congratulations. I ain't on it yet, but I'm going down there to film it, and I'm going over to get the Flint. That dude yelled from the other side of the store, hey, the guy that's gonna be on Survivor, it's over there. I was like, I just want some Flint, man, in these shoes and get out of here. So it's a wild experience, but preparation will help you out. And drink water. You may not like the flavor of that water, but drink that water because dehydration is a real thing.
Water's got a flavor.
Bruce, we'll talk about that later. That's the after show. That's the yeah, Bruce, they do got some flavor on the after show.
Okay.
That's our next piece of Patreon content. Does water have flavor?
Is it really out the well? Yes, out the well, all right.
Hey, smell orange. The color or the fruit?
Hey, look, be like, get some water.
Anyway, when Ollie and I were talking about the tribes at the pre-show, I finally correctly predicted a tribe that would win, and that was the tribe that ended up winning this community challenge. So I don't know, I just felt like it was Sophie B's time to win. I'm like, this girl needs a break. Like, her tribe of 4 did seem strong going in. Like I don't know, they seem good enough in enough things.
They're the best one.
Hold their own.
They had the best. They got the best of the tribes.
Yeah, it also seems like they kind of got all the main characters on that tribe. That's what it seemed like.
They really did.
You had MC and you got Riz, so they kind of hold their own in that, and then you just got to figure out how the other 2 fit. But Sophie and Riz did strategy on the puzzle. Outstanding. And MC stood on the back, so she's taller, so she stood. That was a good move. She didn't have to get extra bags, and you had Sophie that did the tying, and she was outstanding. So they actually strategized and figured out who was the best at what and pulled it off. So great challenge, and you ain't gonna, like I told my tribe before, they never understood. Win at the challenges, so you gotta go to tribal council. The longer you stay with tribal council, the better.
They didn't understand the assignment your season.
No. They voted
not for that first one.
Haters.
They understood the assignment to get rid of the dead weight.
First of all, little guy, you can go back and look at my video, man. My performance was stellar.
I know.
That's how they got voted out after me, because their performance was not stellar.
Mm-hmm.
Still love Yasa. Yasa strong, no matter where we go. If we ever run up on us, it's all about us.
Well, we get I keep getting all the tribe colors mixed up at this point, but I believe that it's the new yellow tribe that won the immunity. So New Ina, if we're still calling them that. And then we get the new red tribe that came in second place. And I don't know, blue must be cursed this season because the blue tribe, the Keeley tribe, ends up going to tribal council. And so let's talk about like when they get back from the beach or back to the beach. So I don't know, Bruce, did you have a prediction going into this tribal council? Did you think it was going to get flipped back onto Sage somehow? Like, what did you think was going to happen?
No, they left the breadcrumbs out there when they were, talking about Shannon and, the way that she, I don't know, the talking and the, in the womb and all that other stuff. They put way too much focus on her. And I literally said to my wife, 2 minutes after they get back to the beach, I'm like, yeah, she's gone. And I said it in a way I was pissed because she's on my team, on my draft team. So I'm just like, whatever, foregone conclusions, she's gone. And sure enough, the edit, I saw through the edit or rolled with the edit, however you want to call it. And I saw that happen. So no surprise.
They had been setting that up for a few weeks now. Like, I think it got to the point where, like, yeah, even if Shannon gets swap screwed, or if, like, people turn on her or whatever, like, we're gonna see why that happened. I feel like they had been leaving those breadcrumbs for a while now.
But Shannon said she had lady luck, or what's she call it? Luck something? What does she call it? Some kind of lady luck thing. She said she had.
Right. Like, I think she was just calling. She might have had a name for it. You're right.
She did. She was Lady Luck or something like that. But she's
like saying like she's just like a lucky lady or something. Like
yeah.
That. Yeah.
I thought we saw the demise of just that quick. I forgot his name. That's why I got this board up next to me. Juwan. I thought we were gonna see the demise of Juwan, because I said either he's just not picking up on the clues, or he think there's some loyalty that it's just overstated. I was like, man, is he? And then, he bonded so well with Steven. So if I'm looking at the edit, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Steven has a chance of not getting voted out as odd person out. And I kind of felt like the way him and Juwan was together, I said, no, that might work. And Sage definitely don't want to work with Shannon. And I was like, so I know that's a no-go. But then they edited where it says basically where it looked like Juwan wasn't going to break tribal alliance and stuff. I was like, so I didn't see where Shannon was going to get voted out. I figured she had a good thing going. She was about to get Juwan out, and we do the normal, when you come back, you lose the tribe, the thing. Okay, who we gonna vote for? So I thought this episode, the way it concluded, was pretty good. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see Shannon being voted out. I figured she was gonna pull off something, and Juwan was gonna be a casualty of it.
Josh, what do you think? Like, is this what you predicted going in? I know you said leaving breadcrumbs. But...
Yeah, no, I definitely texted a couple of my friends, like, even before the challenge was over. I'm like, I think Red's going to come back and win, Blue's going to lose, and Shannon's going to go. Just because she's, I don't know, the way the edit had been setting her up for a while now, I was like, yeah, the kind of that last pre-jury slot would kind of make sense for her. And yeah, especially on a try before, how much they had building up the Sage and Shannon thing. And especially seeing how, they were showing like Juwan and Steven hitting it off. I'm like, I think Shannon's probably in trouble here. And again, it made strategic sense for both Sage and Juwan to turn on her. Because if it is, they could go work with the Yellow Tribe, or if they wanted to go back to the Red Tribe, like they've moved up in the pecking order now. So I think it was all laid out pretty clearly for me beforehand, but still, watching how it went down was still fun because,
it was quite
Shannon was just like laying it on thick with Sage, like, oh, can we hold hands? Like, nobody gets how close we are. And Sage is like, girl, you have no idea what I've been hanging onto the camera this whole time. And I don't know.
So you're sitting here and you're looking at that with all the, the Sage and the faces that she's making and stuff like that. So,
the camera crew is outstanding, man. Whoever's on that camera crew this season.
But the fact is that, so now future Survivor players, please keep in mind the things that are said while you're playing the game, the person that you meet and know after the game, they're two completely different situations.
Oh yeah.
But we understand that, you and I, sir, we understand that. Other people, however we want to do this, that are applying to be on this game, need to understand that this is the part of it's part of the problem that ends up happening, unfortunately, with this game, is that sometimes you go into it and you're thinking one thing, and then you get your reality checked once you see everything on television. But it's when that game is happening, you're impeding someone's ability to win $1 million. You're in someone's way, so they're gonna not like you. They whatever. And then after the game's over, you're gonna have the ability to have a conversation and meet that person. Yeah, some person you're on the island with, and once I would love to see for people to have great relationships afterwards, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Some people, I'm sorry, but some people y'all want to go get along in real life. I mean, just because they put you on the show together doesn't mean you're gonna get along in real life. Matter of fact, the people that I hang out with are people that were on opposite tribes. Now, some of it's because logistically we just don't live on the same side of the. Some on the East Coast, some on the West Coast, some in the Midwest. But there's the situation is, I mean, if you met in real life and you got along and you developed a friendship out of that, great. Survivor does not make friends; it makes experiences that you share. You're gonna always share in that same experience, but some of these people they won't say not one word to each other, and they have their own reasons, which we saw with Sage. She to me in all the season on the episodes, she gave the most honest response to Shannon. Hey, let's just handshake.
Because I want to give you a genuine hug when the time is right.
I'm in the midst of this game. I'm playing this game. I will tell you whatever you need to be told in that game to win the game. Outwit, outplay, outlast is for a reason. Now, if you say, look, I can't tell a lie, I think we only had one player that was truthful the entire game. I can't remember his name offhand. Earl. And he won his season. I think that was the only player that just did not lie. Everybody else telling some variation of whatever truth needs to be told to somebody in order to get to the next step of the game. Some people are just flat out despicable. And it's like, did you really have to be? And I think that's when people get their feelings hurt, when somebody does something so malevolent that you didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
And then you look back on TV and it's like, you didn't have to do all that. I don't mind that you told me that, but you didn't have to do all that extra stuff. So that's my.
Well, they bring the outside world into the game, and they trying to pin their life on you. That's another side of it. So
somebody told me one time.
I'm speaking out loud. I'm thinking.
No, because I was gonna put
that we're not seeing, Josh.
I was gonna throw somebody in the lake on that one too, man.
This might be some Patreon stuff if you really want to get dirty with it.
This is gonna be get them hands to get you.
Josh I'm personally ready for that story, so we can talk about it on Patreon or whenever. But do we think so? Sage obviously did that little handshake thing. Do we think that that's going to negatively impact her at all? Because those other tribe members were seeing her hugging Shannon and doing little kissy faces, and now come to find out she has obvious beef with Shannon when she had no problem being lovey-dovey to her face. Obviously they knew she wanted to get rid of Shannon, so they knew she had to be like that. But do we think that they're going to see that she had she did that so easily, she acted so loving towards Shannon so easily?
Nah, this falls on Juwan. This has nothing to do with her, because whose name was written down?
It was Juwan.
She wrote Juwan. He was like, she wrote my name down. I had to do something. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Juwan takes the front end of the heat, and Shannon could say, hey, she was going to write his name down and let him know we was in a good tight group. Juwan is the one now to say, okay, how do you go back when they do the merge? And do you want to stay with the three that you with now? With him, I would say go with the three you with now, because one, they show they always loyal. And since your name was written down and nobody else's, ain't but one story to tell. She was trying to get me out. So I had to get her before she got me. And people in the game of Survivor should respect that. And stop being so touchy-feely about, well, why'd you do it? Man, get out of here. I had to vote you. I'm gonna vote you out. Let the opportunity get around here.
Yeah.
Got to be someone.
And to answer your question, Tori, I don't think that they're going to be too upset with Sage for that, because I think she didn't seem to hide her distaste for Shannon to everybody else or to the camera. I think she only hid it from Shannon. So I think to everybody else, they probably see Sage as pretty genuine, I think, and just kind of had to put up with Shannon because she was on the tribe with her not once, not twice, but 3 times. So
not to mention nobody else turned around and said, hey, yo, this girl's making faces behind your back, and no one else said that to Shannon. So
that's true.
Yeah, I think Sage should be okay, because Savannah, Nate, Rizzo, they might be pissed at her, but they were never loyal to her anyway. And again, if they want to stay Uli strong, they need her. So I think Sage is going to be okay.
Yeah.
I think that whole thing is broken up in the net. Here going forward, when they merge, I think everything is going to be out the window.
Absolutely. Well, I guess that brings us to what's going to happen at the merge, meaning I don't know what kind of situation we're going to have, if it's going to be 2 people have immunity or what. I think we're all kind of in agreement that it looks like we're probably not going to get a traditional purgatory that we've been getting in this new era. But let's make some predictions on like who we think is gonna be voted out next. And if you want to also kind of throw in there who you think is gonna win first immunity. Abraham, let's go to you first. I don't know if
Bonnie has a proper doll right there. You got Jason in front of you. Good boy.
Go ahead.
Good man.
Oh my god.
Hey, go to Rhode Island after this. Go to Rhode Island. You know what? I think it's gonna be pretty, because anybody that's voted out in the next episode, once they merge, draws the battle lines for how the rest of the game is gonna go. Because now it's after the merge, whole different game. I think that we're gonna see somebody that unexpectedly get voted out. So if I had Sophie, maybe one of the ones, if Sophie jumps the gun too early and try to use her knowledge as power when she doesn't have to, she's not really in any danger. I don't think it's gonna be Alex. I think it's going to be an internal fight between tribes to say who's next between Nate, Alex, and I think that's where the fight's going to come in at. I don't think it's going to be the rest. I think everybody else is going to band together. So if I had to pick somebody, I'm going to pick Sophie. One of the Sophies.
Which one though?
One of them. I don't know which one. I just know one of them is Sophie. Hey, they got their name the same almost. Some different letters.
I wonder how they're going to differentiate
we'll
them.
go with A, Sophie.
Which Sophie? Sophie with an E. No, I like Sophie with the E. No, I'm gonna say it's gonna be somebody named Sophie. I don't know which one. I don't want to pick either one of y'all. I don't want to pick any one of the Sophies. I'm just gonna pick somebody named Sophie.
Fair enough. All right, so we've narrowed it down to 2 with Abraham. Josh, who do you think is going home?
Who do I think is going home?
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't think this is going to be one where they just kind of like, cut bait on someone that they don't really care about. Because I do think that with 11 people left and a more traditional merge, I think that there's going to be more trying to like take a swing at the other. But the question is like, which side's going to come out on top? Oh man. I think it's not looking too good for the original Red Tribe.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna say Nate. I think Nate might be in trouble next week. That's my guess. And who wins immunity? My guess is MC.
I like it.
The first individual immunity?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair choice. She's such a beast. I love her. Bruce, what do you think is gonna happen?
I'm gonna flop what Josh just said. I'm gonna flop it. I think that she's gonna be voted out. Nate's gonna win immunity. Something about you're gonna put that man's back against the wall and he's gonna potentially be voted out. And I've seen it. I experienced it. Like another demon's gonna come out with him. He will still need to play Kumbaya in the sand with people, but he's gonna realize more so than anybody else. This is now the individual part of the game. So he's spending for himself. So I really do think MC might be going home.
Okay. All right. So you think MC is going home? Who do you think is going to win immunity?
Nate. I'm going to give it to Nate.
You said Nate. Okay.
Nate.
All right. I don't hate it. I'm going to say it's hard because, with 11 people, I'm excited for there to be more people at a tribal council because, I'm not really here for like the 3 tribes in general. I've talked about it. I don't need to go into detail, but there's just not enough people at these tribal councils. So, anyway, I'm going to echo what Josh said and say that MC wins immunity just because she is such a badass, such a beast at these things. Who's going to get voted out? I do think that there's going to be like some big talks. Like, are we going to vote Nate? Are we going to vote whatever, like some of these bigger names and throw a punch at like some of the players that have been really playing hard and with like a strong alliance. But I do think at the end of the day, it might actually be somebody that we like, I don't want to say like don't care about as much because I do like this person, but I do think it's going to end up being like Sophie with the E. Like, just because like she is
Sophie with the E?
And I think it's like a safe yellow to vote out. And I do think that she's like kind of starting to stir the pot against like even like her own people. Like Christina, but without those people, she doesn't really have anywhere to turn. So I wonder if she's just like not going to be able to rally enough troops and make enough good connections. And she's an original Hina, which people want to weaken. There are people that want to weaken that original tribe. So I'm going to say that. I think they're going to try to throw us off by saying some other names, though.
Makes sense.
That's a good prediction. I could see that. I will add too that I
I
don't
didn't see anybody.
most of the last several seasons at the merge, it's been like a pile on at the merge vote. I think
Yeah.
the last like for a long time it's been like a pile on at the merge vote. I do not see that happening this time. I think it's probably going to be like a 6-5 or 7-4 vote or something like that. I think it's going to be like lines are going to be
unanimous.
drawn. I don't think it's going to be a unanimous kind of thing.
I think that's totally fair. Well, I'm excited to see what happens. I personally, like, sometimes the quieter beginning makes me think like we're going to get some excitement here towards the merge, which to me is exactly how a Survivor season should play out. And I'm just excited to see where we go from here. And everyone, we do have some really good stuff for you coming up on Survivor Now. We have shows basically every single week. Let me get the art up. There we go. So we do have some stuff going on tomorrow. We've got Survivor Social. So check out Kara, and I'm not sure if they have a guest this week, but Kara and Avery are going to be on Survivor Social, and they're going to be talking about this week's episode and talking about like who the social butterfly is. So go check that out. It's a lot of fun. Friday, we have Stock Watch, and Saturday, we have Got Something For Ya. So yeah, check all of those out. It's always a lot of fun, and yeah, we've got some hot takes, but we'd love to hear from you about what you think about those hot takes, and just we have a lot to talk about with this Survivor season in general. So come check us out anytime that you want. And that's gonna do it for our show, everybody. This was a ton of fun, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for having me. I'm not usually with you. And everyone, we'll see you next time.
Wait, before we go,
Bye.
like, subscribe, share.
Oh yeah.